All right. Could not get into a sprint. Well, now it'll fill now that I'm in a dash in, but... All right. Oh. 4th of July did me dirty, if you can't tell by my voice. But I'm here. Missed yesterday. Guess I'm ripping multiple drafts today to make up for it. Oh my god, my voice is tough. What do I have? 12? That's also tough. Alright. We're gonna figure this out together. But the journey starts now. Day 1, a day late. Double down. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. Hopefully we can get into a sprint at some point. Damn, does it take those things forever to fill, and I got tired of waiting. I ain't gonna lie to you. 12? Let's see here. I do love going, I mean, Dashing doesn't matter as much. I love going Nico Lad at the 12, just because people don't do it, and you get a great 17 stack to start. But we'll have to see how the board falls. Alternatively, there's nothing wrong with just trying to build a Detroit-Minnesota stack. Definitely not taking a Minnesota player at 13. I mean, BJ, I don't have a ton of Brian Thomas. So honestly, I might even just target that, let the chips fall where they may. I don't have a ton of Genti either, so I could get wonky. I don't know. Let's see how it falls. Oh, wait, what? Tell me this is a joke. Why did it say 10 hours? Dude, this is a nightmare. What have I done? It's an 8-hour pick clock. Fuck me. Oh my goodness, this is a disaster. What have I done? I saw 4 entry max, $8, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Alright, well. Sprint, please don't have filled. Alright, we're gonna need... What a great way to start off day 1. Oh my god. Oh, this is my own personal hell. What the fuck? So I guess I'm gonna be in this one for a little bit. I can't believe they have a draft that is a by default 10 hour. I've yet to encounter that. What the fuck? I mean, and there was no way I was looking at the pick clock before I clicked into this. Oh my god. Well, that fucking sucks. Alright. We'll get to see hopefully the start of my first and last Dowshund. What the fuck? Alright. Well, the disaster is on full display. Let me fucking adjust this shit. Oh my goodness. I'm all over the place. Alright. Pull up the draft so I can fix this. How it's appearing. Nudge that puppy up a little bit since I'm gonna have 2 tabs open for the majority of this. I mean, what the fuck, man? A by default 8 hour? Like, what are we doing here? Give me a notice before I accidentally enter an 8-hour draft. Like, what the fuck? Well, if we get up, you know, I won't have to wait long for my second pick. God damn. All right, well, I guess we're getting in an eliminator just to feel alive here. I mean, I am. What a great way to start this off. What a heartbreaker. Oh. Hope everyone's 4th of July was fucking fantastic. Mine was a lot. Sleep was short. We had a house of 17 people. So, you know, at some point, once a certain number of people are up, everyone, you know, you're fucked, bud. You're fucked, bud. I mean, while we wait for this eliminator, I don't have a specific strategy per se for eliminator. I do think I maybe tend to slightly favor, you know, that running back security, especially in the top end, but not by like a massive degree. Like I really don't change my draft philosophy too much. The important thing to remember for the eliminator is, I mean, you don't want to be chasing ceilings, so you're not going to be really doing much of any team stacking. I mean, you can do like very minor team stacking. If you are going to team stack, I do prefer going running back, wide receiver for your team stack. That gives you a little bit of leeway for, you know, blowouts or high scoring matchups. Not to say that, or I guess not high scoring matchups, blowouts both ways. You have a little bit of you know, leeway there for the team that you're kind of investing in. But you do have to be investing into a team that is going to be very offensively efficient. Like, I love Genty. There's no way I'm doing like a Las Vegas double in any of this. I mean, I guess their defense sucks, so that's a positive, but yeah, just not happening. Alright, well, before I end up in 3 drafts simultaneously, I'm going to leave this sprint. I was hoping we'd still be waiting for one person, but a man can only hope. He can only dream. Alright, eliminator time. What pick do we got? It might be blocked for the beautiful people at home. Where am I? Oh no, it's not. Pick 12. Alright, I'm 12 and all the way through. I still can't believe I'm on a 10-hour draft. I fucking hate 10-hour drafts. Oh my god. What the fuck? Alright. Well, here we are. So in terms of safety, getting that consistent floor, honestly, yeah. Just give me these wide receivers. I'll figure out running back in my next back-to-back, but like, Neighbor's target volume means he's just gonna be pretty surefire week to week. And Amon-Ra's a merchant. I mean, he's a PPR merchant. Granted, this is gonna be half. But yeah, I'd be happy with any of these 3 wide receivers. Genty's fine too. Like, the thing you do want to balance is, like, let's say some of your team does not like completely shit the bed, but has like a slightly off week. That ceiling still can keep you from it. But the eliminator, I don't know if it changed from this year to last year. The eliminator this year is just head-to-heads after the first round, I believe. I mean, we can do a little bit of studying for the class, but I believe the first round it's like 8 teams, or not 8 teams, I'm retarded. 12 teams, I have no idea how many are eliminated, but then after that it's just head-to-head the rest of the way. Where are the rules? Yeah. Round 1 is a 12, top 6. So 50% of the pool is cut round 1. So honestly, you may even need some of that upside round 1. So take some good week 1 matchups. The rest of it's just 1v1s though. So like, ceiling floor, just at this point, just draft who you think is going to be a good team, because you have no control how well people you're up against are going to do. Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly confident taking Nico. Question would be BTG or Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is safer. Let's not overthink it in this first draft. We don't gotta do none of that. We can start thinking though. Where's my scroll? No. I gotta readjust this thing so you beautiful people can see this. Alright. OBS, I need you back. Alright. What a fan-fucking-tastic way to start this. Alright. Vision's clear now. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Next pick, 36, 37. Then we got 60, 61. I would like to come away with a running back from this area. James Cook, I'd be perfectly happy with. I'm personally not too much of a fan of Chuba Hubbard. That high with a player that is probably going to see some of his passing down work taken away this season. Was it Dottle? There was some guy who got arrested for gun charges. I don't think it was Dottle. It was maybe it was Rick Dottle. I don't know. Either way, I would like James Cook. Omarion Hampton's also tough for me. Less so about the timeshare, just more so Greg Roman's running backs again don't get they don't get a ton of passing down work. Like historically, they've never been like high target share backfields. So that's more so the part that concerns me more than Najee, even though I do feel like Najee is a little bit of a threat more than people are giving him credit for to steal some work. At 60, honestly, Swift or Monty, be happy with them. Honestly, I prefer Swift to Trevion. Just another thing, like, I mean, maybe I'm the doofus, but like, give Ramondre a little bit of credit. Like, Trevion is definitely going to have a pretty firm hold on a lot of the work, but I don't know. You are getting Trevion over 20 picks after Omarion, though. Let's see how the rest of the lobby's doing. CD Reek is interesting. Bowers at 23. I mean, yeah, Chempty at chain is gnarly. If he hits on his wide receivers, that's a quarterback. I mean, I know people like having the quarterback security, but like, give me 2-3 quarterbacks later in the draft rather than a fucker this early. Could take McBride. Well, we know we're taking James Cook. The question is who else? I do love me some George Kittle. I don't hate that. And then I could go Purdy later. I don't want to take Marv with the bye weeks. Yeah, let's go Kittle. Purdy goes fairly late. Or am I retarded? Yeah, he's a middle of the pack guy. And I trust, like, Purdy's the kind of guy I want in this where, like, even if it doesn't go to Kittle, I trust Purdy to, like, at least do a little bit of something. Although Purdy's not, like, a high mark, because, again, I'm not really going for a lot of team stacks. Especially quarterback wide receiver is not something I'm going to be heavily targeting. Fields is a guy great in this format because you're not going to be really stacking him with Wilson. He's mainly standalone value. Drake May would be great. I mean, even I like Herbert. Also, an FYI, I am currently drafting Tornado Warning. So, you know, amidst all the chaos, I am still here for the people. But yeah. 60, we're probably going to be targeting one or two of those running backs that we previously saw. Likely only one, just because you don't want to get too far behind the ball at wide receiver. Boy. no idea if you guys can hear that. The sky is rumbling. Hopefully I don't lose power. My house had, during the last storm, we lost power a lot. So, yeah. That would suck. Still 10 hours on the clock here. Hate myself. Yeah. I still can't believe I fucking did that. Fucking, I can't believe they don't give you any kind of notice. Like, hey, this is an 8-hour draft.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation
Give me an ad,
with
you son
Bob's
of a
Discount
gun.
Furniture,
I
where you
want
can
your
find everyday
ad.
low prices on the hottest.
Come on, Bob. I don't need your discount furniture. Alright. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is, let me plug in my phone before my power maybe goes out. Oh, that'd be tiff. Yeah, that would suck. It would be the only right way to end this disastrous day one. Admittedly, for my power to go out. Alright. Back up in a couple of picks. Let's figure this fucking thing out, eh? Trevion's still there. RJ Harvey there. Monty and... Honestly, let's lock in Harvey. Waddle is interesting. RJ Harvey's good just because of he's high upside given the amount of receiving work he could potentially net. I'll get my third running back the next pick. I'm gonna take Waddle. Let's go Waddle. Alright. Not how I thought this draft was gonna go, but I don't hate it too much. RJ Harvey's, I think, a fairly decent pick in this, because his upside... The weather outside is freaking me out. His upside is in the passing down work he could net. Not necessarily the role that he's going to have. I'm fairly confident he'll have a decently big role in the offense. It's just a question of how much passing down work he can get. If he gets a lot, I mean, he's a great mid-round running back pick. Dude, it is fucking crazy out there. I really don't want to lose my power, man. That would suck. It is so fucking windy. I can't believe there was a tornado warning. Like, what the fuck? Alright, what do we, 85. Right smack into the damn middle. 80 and 90. So let's see where we end up here. Yeah, 85 places me right. I mean, I can like try and hunt some of these later round backs. I at least gave myself the stability to not need to take a running back at these next picks. I mean, if any of these top three fall, that's an instant pick for me. Downs, Pearsall's not too bad, but I already have Kittle. I don't want to stack San Fran too heavy, especially in an offense that I feel like should be pretty balanced, not overtly pass happy. Honestly, Baker, Kyler. Kyler ain't bad. Alright. Jaden Reed's there. I feel fairly confident with the week-to-week stability he brings. He's got a pretty good mix of stability and upside. I could go like Mahomes or Baker. Dude, I'm so on edge. I feel like a fucking dog right now. Just like scared of the thunder. Yeah, Jaden Reed. Do I want to go like Baker? I don't think so. Could go Pearsall and finish out wide receiver. I don't want to do that though. I don't want to do that though. Let's keep it simple, stupid. It's stupid simple. Jalen Warren. And then at our next pick, we'll probably be targeting some QB stability. Now, reminder, if you are used to the other formats, this team is going to look ugly because there's no stacking of any kind. I just need to be top 50% week 1 and then beat another rando out in every other week to the end of the season, which granted will require some form of ceiling, but I'm hunting that ceiling more through individual players rather than outright stacks, I guess. Like, I think George Kittle, if he plays like he did last year, I mean, where you can get him in drafts right now is pretty dang good. RJ Harvey is definitely the ceiling pick so far on the roster. The rest are fairly secure. Yeah, in the hundreds, we could go Purdy. Honestly, Dak ain't too bad, but you do want some of that rushing upside. So it could be May. Yeah, I could always build like a Stroud stack. With Nico, that gives me some slight ceiling off my first round pick, which isn't the worst thing to do. Baker's a great pick at 95. Who are the other players around here? Shaheed, Higgins. I mean, I could go ballsy with like a... It's just if Houston fucking poops the bed that week, it can be tough. I said it earlier, I do like Ramondre still. I don't think he's just going to disappear. Love Sharbs. If that fucking tornado warning didn't come through on my phone, I wouldn't care at all, but that thing's bugging me out right now. I'm acting schizo. Alright. Honestly, fucking give me Ayuk. Let's fucking swing for the fences here, people. Because he's what could win you it later in the season if you fucking survive long enough to feel it. I will probably take Drake May. I think he's got some decent mobility upside. And he's an easy later stack to work off of, and then I can just go get Stroud later. Damn it! The real question in my mind now is, do I take Jaden Higgins or do I take Keon Coleman? I really don't think you're supposed to seal it, but I'm playing one person. You don't get anything for outscoring him, you just need to win by a little bit. But if he fucking puts out the fucking nuts in a week, I will get tiffed. Let's do it. Mama ain't raising no bitch. It's probably the wrong move, but it can give you some semblance of security. Because in my mind, the thought process is fucking pouring. The thought process is you need to chase some semblance of a ceiling. Otherwise, deeper into the season, like, you're not going to make it. Like, once you get into the later 1v1s, like, you're going to be playing, like, good teams. And you need to eventually beat those good teams. So you need, like, a little bit of ceiling. You just don't want to, like, engross yourself in ceiling like you would in the tourneys. Alright, we do need to lock in Stroud at our next pick. Hopefully he's there. It's not much of a reach, but just need him to fall 2 picks past the ADP. And if he doesn't, what are you gonna fucking do, man, you know? This board looks so gross to me right now. Still 3 picks away in the 10-hour draft. Dude, I might just go on autopilot in that thing. I despise long drafts that aren't like dynasty drafts with all your friends. Like, I do not care about this random guy's work schedule forcing him to like need another 5 hours to pick. I don't know you. I don't want to be in a draft with you for days. Draft on a 20-second clock like a man. We do have another question to ponder. This will be my last opportunity to get one of these decently upper echelon. Well, I love Rodgers in the 170s. He's been moving up. I was drafting him in the 200s before he signed. Tyler Show's also, I mean, you take that if you need it. Like, we could build out a pretty strong quarterback core for week to week. Especially if any of these higher end guys continue to fall. The one good thing is the existence of these higher QBs still on the board gives Stroud, hopefully, a little bit of breathing room to make it to me at my other pick. Tootin is another fairly decent upside pick if he wins over the backfield. I feel like I need more receivers, though, pretty desperately. I really... Is this why he's moving up? I loved Marvin Mims, but I feel like he hasn't shown too much yet. But hey, that's the upside, and you get both sides of the team. Denver should be a fairly decent team, but their good defense worries me a little bit, right? Like, they're not going to be insanely amazing on offense. I think I'm going to take Tootin because Tootin has that running back upside. And basically, yeah. He's the individual kind of ceiling pick that I want for this. Especially when he can be my
They
RB4.
say to only bring what you can carry. So with the all-new 2025 Ford Expedition,
and then we
Tremor,
kind of just
bring
build
a
out
lot. Like 3 dirt bikes,
the rest of the
a few
wide receiver
tents,
room,
an entire crew ready to make
which is
memories.
admittedly
Panoramic
sparse right
24-inch display and the confidence to
But
push your
I
limits.
think we can find
the
our
all-new
way
2025 Ford Expedition Tremor.
Always consult the owner's manual before off-road driving. Know your terrain and trail difficulty and use appropriate safety gear. Max payload varies based on accessories, vehicle configuration. See label on door jamper.
I do like Cedric Tillman a fair bit.
Always properly
So people
cargo.
are underrating the Flacco effect. Knowing the Browns, they will at some point move on from Flacco, even though they shouldn't, because none of their other quarterbacks are any good, but they will, because they're the Brownies. I fucking hate my charger. It keeps going in and out. Oh. That is a lot of lightning. Come on, man. I mean, maybe Wandell gives you a little bit of something. But, like, Wandell, again, doesn't have the ceiling. Like, he maybe saves you, but, like, you don't want to have a bunch of, like, shitty, like, 8-point-a-week guys. It's still best ball. It's not exactly what you're searching for. There we go. Alright. Josh Palmer ain't bad, but, like, I got suckered into the Bills last year. Bills don't throw the ball enough. Straight up. They run the ball. Like, even though they score a fair bit, a lot of those touchdowns are rushing touchdowns, whether it's Allen or the backfield, running it in at the goal line. Like, I got suckered into the ideology that, like, hey, you want to be on the top performing offense, or, like, very top 5 offenses are historically good for fantasy purposes. Led me to get a lot of Keon Coleman bags that I ultimately, like, just were bags of shit on my doorstep. Problem with Keon Coleman is that he doesn't have a high target share. Target share and volume are, like, the number one things. It's the end-all, be-all. But I need fucking wide receivers. So I think I'm about to be suckered in again. I can't believe the Steelers traded away Minka. That one hurt. I might do that because I'm a fucking maniac. I don't think we need stability from our wide receiver room right now. We do kind of need that one-off long touchdown from a guy like Joshua Palmer. And he fits into some bye week avoidance. Reason I took Kyle Pitts, it's another ceiling pick. Like, Kittle is the top guy. Now I hopefully, don't need to take a third tight end. So I'm just going to bank on Kittle being the weekly guy, Pitts providing occasional upside if he hits, which, call me a maniac, call me an idiot, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me, I'm about to get fooled again by Kyle Pitts. Like, there's nothing I can do. I see the vision. Honestly, love taking Rodgers if you're on, like, if your first 2 QBs were thin picks. Like, especially if you were a team that drafted, like, a mid-round quarterback, and then right now, you're landing on your, like, 12-1. Like, let's say Coach Smith only had 1 quarterback, and he just gets to take Donald Rodgers, like, as a little bit of stability at the position. I'd love that. I think that's a very fine move. All right, so where is the upside that I am chasing? I mean, Alec Pierce ain't bad. Michael Wilson's tough. I loved him when he came out. He just is kind of proven himself to be, like, a wide receiver 3. Like, so far we haven't, like, even if Harrison gets hurt, like, I don't think it's gonna be like, oh my god, Michael Wilson just dropped 20. Like, I don't know that I see that happening. And a couple years ago I thought that maybe it would. Calvin Austin, honestly, ain't a bad firecracker to ride the coattails of. Rodgers. At this point, maybe I do just full Houston, like, hey, Stroud, you gotta sling it this year, brother, whoever it goes to, you know, fish me out of whatever hell I've put myself into. Honestly, Beck's a solid upside pick if he somehow continues to fall. I'd love that. Like, not only does he have volume, he has the ceiling of potentially beating out, I don't know ball. Fucking. Doesn't matter. He's going anyway. Why am I blanking on bro's name? Jacoby Myers. Like, he has the floor of, like, being most likely the wide receiver 2, and then the ceiling of, like, earning a higher target share than people expect. I may be forced to take Michael Wilson here. I feel like the Pat Bryant hype is too much for my personal taste. Calvin Austin or Justice Hill. I probably need a little bit more running back help, and the ones that do tend to be occasional lifesavers, really bring you out of a bad week if everyone gets hurt, are the ones that can do something in the receiving game. Shipley ain't bad if you're just like, hey, Saquon got the ball a shitload of times last year. He might get banged up 1 or 2 games. I just find it hard to believe that Shipley is then going to get a featured role. Oh. Sorry about that chest. Honestly, I'm going to let this keep falling before I get any more shares, but like, I have to assume Frymouth's going to continue to fall and fall and fall and fall. And at that point, once he's hit bottom of the barrel, I will buy and buy and buy and buy and buy. 204, 205. I mean, if either of these Jamokes fall, we will take it. I think I have to bank off my tight end room. Another receiver wouldn't kill me. It'd have to be a fully upside pick at a running back like Marshawn Lloyd. Again, like, probably doesn't get a featured role, but like, if Josh Jacobs does go down, like there's a fair bit of opportunity, and you're getting it 20 picks after Shipley, and they equivalently haven't shown much of anything, and Lloyd has been because of injuries, whereas I don't know. Granted, Shipley has Saquon ahead of him. I've been drafting too much Dylan Sampson, so I'm probably gonna avoid him. He also isn't necessarily a pass-catching guy, neither is Lloyd, but because of the presence of Ford, like, I viewed Ford as a bigger threat than the other RBs in Green Bay. Honestly, you could just take Show. I don't hate that at all. Because May is by no means a surefire thing. Like, he had some decent value, but like, their offense has not been like drastically improved. And Stroud has his own questions. I'd be fine without Show, but like, I don't know. Why not get an additional starter in a contest that fairly appreciates the security? Let's check in on the slow draft. Right on. Oh, I'm on the clock. All right. I think at this point now, we are banking on Houston being a fantastic offense. That is the ceiling of this later into the year. And the rest of the picks are just give yourself some stability, which I feel fairly confident about. I'm still going to take Marshawn Lloyd. It's just a handcuff. Can maybe provide you some value. The two big risk factors are a tight end room, but I have some hopes. The ceiling chase here is the Houston passing offense, which hopefully gets there. We'll need it to if this lineup is going to go anywhere. This is not something I necessarily recommend doing, but like, once in a blue moon, I don't think it'll kill you just if you end up hitting like a fantastic offense. This will be, hopefully, the lineup that you'll carry deep into the Eliminator. The other ceiling things are players like Harvey, who, while I feel fairly confident will get a decent number of volume to justify pick 60, the upside comes in if he gets that kind of elite level receiving work that a lot of Sean Payton running backs get. You have Jalen Warren there in case he doesn't, or it takes a little bit to get there. Tootin's another upside pick. Hill's another safety pick, and I feel fairly confident with James Cook. As long as he shows up, I think he's a very underrated running back. Quarterback room. If you don't have 2 top guys, I quite honestly prefer 3. I would not consider this 2 top guys. But because of the ceiling play that we made with the Houston receivers, if that fails, then we've already failed. So Stroud needs to be a top 5 QB. If Stroud is a top 5 QB and May can be low-end 1 because of his occasional rushing work and just a slight improvement in the Patriots offense, our quarterback room should be fairly fine. Barring, like a week 6 dud out of May, or God forbid, a 14 dud out of Stroud. But if a 14 dud out of Stroud comes, we're dead anyway. So, first elim, definitely some things I don't love, but I think this is a fairly good approach to do occasionally, not all the time when you're doing an elim draft. Check in on the alright. Because I have nothing else to do, while I do fear that my power may go out at any moment, let's see if we can get another. Well, actually, what am I saying? Baby mama, you ready for me yet? Oh, son of a bitch. Alright. Let's do another elim, simply because, if I try and wait for that sprint, we'll be here tomorrow morning. Other option, could do weekly winners, but I am kind of enjoying the idea
I want
of
to ace my serve.
I don't want your ads!
One day
The idea of the kind of 1v1 nature of the Eliminator is a lot more interesting to me than I initially gave it credit for. Weekly winners, though, you'd definitely be chasing all upside. I prefer, with weekly winners, to just stack week 1. It's the only guarantee you have. Definitely a lot better if you do it right before the season, but because you'll have the most information you possibly could have. But yeah, just do game stacks in week 1, 2, or 3. That's the closest you're gonna get. The rest of the way, it's literally just gonna be pure luck. So if you want any edge, do early week game stacks. Or if you find, hey, I started with, I don't know how this would happen, but somehow you end up with Nico Collins and T. Higgins, and they play each other week 8. Then just pull up the week 8 schedule and look for players that hopefully will have good matchups. If, I don't know, who's a Swiss cheese defense this year? Well, probably the Bengals. If Jordan Love is playing the Bengals week 8, well, no, because I already said that Collins will be playing the Bengals, so axe that. What's another Swiss cheese defense? If, honestly don't know who the Swiss cheese would be this year. Give me the 2025 draft order to illuminate maybe some idea for me. Honestly, Jacksonville, I have no idea how their defense did last year. I would assume not fantastic. Panthers will probably be Swiss cheese again this year. So there's your answer. Collins is playing T. Higgins week 8, and you see that Jordan Love is playing the Panthers week 8, even though that honestly might be a Josh Jacobs situation. Either way, you get my point. Could even be Jordan Love is playing Minnesota, and you think it'll be a high total game. And Jordan Love might be a good pick. Just try and find some weird shit to do in weekly winners that'll give you the opportunity to make a stack on a very strange week that people aren't thinking about. Alright. Another elim on the clock. Pick 5, which I far prefer to 12 or even 1. 1 is good because you get chased, but I hate back-to-back. I feel like you lose all the opportunity to get truly weird unless you have kind of some idea for an out there lineup. Like at 1, my out there lineup is taking Lamar at your 2-3 turn. They play 15, I think. And then you also take Jacobs. You take Lamar and Jacobs at the 2-3 turn. Lamar plays the Bengals, I think, 14 or 15, and then plays Packers 17. And you have a pretty decent playoff game stacking that most people aren't doing when they draft Chase 1. They're taking T and one of the Cardinals players. That's good water. All right. Pick 5. Yeah. I'd love... Oh, Gibbs goes. I played a decent bit of weekly winners last year, but I haven't been doing many drafts of it so far this year. Oh, give me fucking Bijan at 5. Yeah. I did okay in weekly winners last year. Didn't do anything crazy. But yeah, for the most part this year, I've been wanting to do the sprint drafts mainly because no one is doing them, which usually means you can get a fair bit of edge, especially if it takes a while to fill. Nobody wants to get in the drafts that aren't filling, so that's usually my play. But weekly winners is fun. What are we looking at next? 20 and 29. This one is an Elam though, just to keep you on the level. It's hard for me to take someone like Brock Bowers in Elam. He's so good, but like, I worry about the detriment I'm taking to my team going tight end like at 2. Jacobs would be fine if I didn't have Bijan already in week 5. I honestly, this could be another guy I'm just missing the boat on. I mean, Chase Brown does have a fair bit more like receiving work than players like Chuba. But Chase Brown just is hard for me to, put my name behind. Who's falling? 4 picks away. I mean, yeah, I'd be happy with any of this top of the board stuff. Honestly, just give me fucking Lad. I'd take Lad to the bank. Hell yeah. I like that game time. Pook at the 108, London at 205. Hell yeah. This is underdog that I'm drafting off of. Earl. The only reason I'm going Lad over London here is because I don't want to have my first 2 picks on bye week 5 in Elam. I have a buddy that does most of his best ball in DraftKings. In previous years, I guess the interface in DraftKings was like 1,000 times worse than underdog. They've gotten a lot better. Like the one thing I did like when I did a draft on DK, like it's a little difficult to like team filter. Like there are some ones. Oh, it's loud. Tiff. All right, give me 1 sec. Alright. Appreciate that shout. Let me know if it's fixed. I should have just adjusted the audio settings there. Alright. Should be hard capped now. What I was saying about the DK thing. Damn, Jacobs is falling here. Since he's just gonna have to throw the ball so much. on the DK draft interface now, you can literally, like, when I'm drafting on Underdog, if I wanted to, like, I do this a lot more on Sprint because I'm going to be team stacking far more than I would on, like, this Elam one. Some teams like Green Bay work well. A team like Tennessee, a little bit less, but, like, you can just click the teams that you want to filter through on DK, which Underdog doesn't have yet. But the bigger thing than that was people told me their like in-season thing is just a pain in the ass to handle. Oh, I know why it's so fucking loud. Alright. I had the audio coming through double. It's probably catching on my mic and the screen capture. I'm just gonna mute the screen capture then. I don't know. Music might be essentially muted at this point, but it's better than it blowing your eardrums out. Alright, 44. Hurts wouldn't be a bad pick here. Let me check the rest of these picks. 53, I think I'd probably have to, yeah. I could take Swift. You'd have to fall to 68. I mean, Hurts is not a bad shout here. Yeah. I mean, it's such a fair bit of weekly upside on a team that I'm not going to be getting anywhere else, so it evens out the floor of the rest of the team. Because I'm not going to be going Burrow. Because I don't want the team stack. Well, I mean, you don't outright avoid the team stack in Eliminator. Especially if you're going just head-to-head this year. I don't know. This is one of the most interesting contests to me. Because I think the way you build your team is such an enigma. Like, you need some element of the ceiling to take out your later 1v1s in the format. But if you go all ceiling, you're almost surefire, unless you actually roll the nuts on your team. You're surefire to just get, like, run into a horrible week against someone. But I do think changing it to the 1v1 format after week 1 is a pretty cool way to do it this year. Ted has a fairly decent floor. I don't want Devonta for the team stack. Connor is ugly, but ugly often works in Elam. I do worry about getting too far behind the ball at wide receiver. I mean, what is my next pick? 68? Yeah. I feel more comfortable with the wide receivers there. Ken Walker ain't bad, but, like, I think Connor does not get the amount of credit he deserves for the passing down work he gets. And since I didn't take Walker, it lets me maybe look at Sharbs later, who is a guy I'll probably have way too many bags of. I do really love Pickens this year, even though he's a jag-off that somehow already got suspended from the team. I mean, he's just so talented. Finally has a quarterback that, like, maybe can do something. Dak gets a ton of hate, but let him rock. And he gets to be the wide receiver too. Will take a ton less pressure. I mean, especially in a sprint or any tourney format. Like, a Dallas stack is one I am going to end up with a fair bit of. 68. I mean, if you want to just take the upside pick, it's Olave if he's healthy. I can't go Monty because of the bye weeks. Same thing with Johnson. I don't want to do that. I don't care much for Tony Pollard. Aaron Jones ain't bad, but he does get hurt. Pacheco ain't bad either, but it puts me way too far behind a wide receiver. I think I just have to go Judy. And honestly, a pick that like no one is probably making here. Let's see how far down he is. Just taking Flacco with your last pick to survive the first couple weeks. Like, I have Jalen Hurts. Hurts is what I'm going to need towards the end of the season. Just fucking take Flacco for the, I'm going to assume, minimum 5 weeks that you're going to have with him. Oh, Tiffer, though. He is by week 9. But it is an option. Let's see week 9 NFL schedule to see what potential quarterback I would potentially be targeting to try and take advantage of Hurts' bye week in a smart way, at least. Yeah, I think just give me Addison. Honestly, no, fuck it. Give me Aaron Jones. I'm perfectly fine going more RB heavy in Elam. Tight end is going to have to be a 3 tight end team because we're going to have to make it up through the mean. All right, week 9 NFL. I mean, Caleb Williams plays the Bengals. Always a fair team to target. Seahawks Commanders honestly ain't bad. Commanders defense is not good. So I'm fine with going Darnold later. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. Darnold against the Commanders off a bye. Yeah, let's do that. I just gotta fucking remember that later because I do not want to risk queuing that SOB up early. Alright. We need to go heavy on wide receivers, though, for the rest of this. You know what I could have done earlier just to guarantee it is pause the music. And then I'll, at least for now that I tested out the lowering the hard limit on it, ain't no need to risk it the rest of the way, though. Alright. Wide receivers, wide receivers, wide receivers. That is our MO for the next couple of picks, unless a tight end happens to fall. But even if they do, we are fairly behind the ball at wide receiver right now, so we really got to make it up. If Diggs happens to fall, I'm happy with that. Golden could be fine. Honestly, I'd love to take Michael Pittman. Especially, like, I'm fairly confident at this point Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback, and while he is not a good quarterback, in terms of throwing the ball, he is a fair bit better than AR. So, if Michael Pittman has a serviceable quarterback, I think he's a pretty decent week-to-week option, at least in BestBall, where you can't avoid the DJ stinker weeks. Mooney's weird. I don't know what to think of him, especially now with Penix in. It's kind of strange. Golden, I can't figure out their receiving core. Granted, being a bigger deep threat in this is not by any means a problem, but like I feel safer with Pittman. If I had already had 4 wide receivers at this point, like if I had taken Jordan Addison instead of Aaron Jones, I'd probably be more inclined to draft Golden. Fields is always good in this, but I cannot afford to take a quarterback right now. Honestly, Emeka's decent. It just puts me in a tough spot. Week 9 with Hurts out, and I would have Higgins and Emeka out. I don't know if I could sling that. I might have to sling it, though. I mean, hey, if you want to risk it for the biscuit, you take Ayuk here, and you don't really think twice about it. With how, I mean, I need Ayuk back by week 9 right now. Draft room, I don't feel at least is giving me much of any other option. I don't really want to take Kelsey or Ingram when my wide receivers are this poor. I'd rather take Ayuk than Shaheed with a new quarterback. So Ayuk, just get back by week 9, and I need the rest of these wide receivers to keep me alive. We can find some additional upside later. I feel fairly good with this, though. Hurts with a consistent floor quarterback. Fair, interchangeable, well-rounded running back room. Connor and Aaron Jones, obviously, though, are injury concerns. Not much I can do about it at this point, though, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's a problem for future me. In this wide receiver room, I mean, if I can get another guy I feel fairly confident in, I'm going to do it. Sharps ain't a bad next pick for the same reasons I said earlier about disliking the lack of receiving work that Walker gets. I love the amount of receiving work that Sharps gets, even in half-point PPR. It's always a benefit. I really still have no idea how the Javonte Williams and Jadon Blue backfield shakes out. I was just about to say Shaheed would be worth it this next pick. Bateman's another interesting guy. I really don't think he's going to maintain that touchdown efficiency, though. Sharps is tough with the bye weeks. Javonte wins the backfield. I feel fairly confident with him. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna punt wide receiver a little bit further down. If Bateman or Harris make it to my next pick, I will take them. Otherwise, Kirk ain't bad. Especially in a room where I need some more stability if he steals that slot role. It's not bad at all. I actually don't want Trey Harris because I don't want to team stack the LA. Alright. Christian Kirk, will you make it back to me, Brother Bear? And again, I'm not planning to take any of these quarterbacks. I'm going to target Darnold playing the Commanders off a bye week 9 when Hurts, off his week 8 bye in week 9. Hurts is on bye week 9. And in terms of the early season, for some stability, I am going to take Flacco later. But it basically comes down to, hey, Darnold, you need to put on a show week 9. I am going to go Luther Burden here. Does not fix any of the floor concerns about the wide receiver room. But we're playing best ball. Give me the ceiling, brother. Hopefully it works out. It's really the best that you can hope for. Granted, to be fair, Burden should scope out to be their kind of big slot, essentially. Like, they're not going to play him too outside, I don't think. The hope is that he plays the Amon-Ra role in their offense this year, which we saw for Amon-Ra. is pretty damn good if you can play the role well. I mean, if Ray Davis falls, I have to take him. I also at some point need to take a fucking tight end. Ferguson ain't bad. I'm a big fan of Ferguson. Goddard, I don't know that you necessarily want to do, but it wouldn't be bad. I feel like taking the tight end stack isn't like that much of a problem. It's kind of the least of your concerns in terms of stacking in this. Why is nobody taking Ray Davis? Am I missing something? Am I the asshole? I mean, I will take Ray Davis and not have to worry about running back the rest of the way. No sweat off my back, brother. Man, if this guy doesn't take Ray Davis, I don't know what's going on. What the fuck? Who knows? Maybe he got shot today. I don't know. Nah, I don't fucking know. If Ray Davis wasn't there, even though I like the ceiling of Mims, I probably would have had to take Ferguson. And who knows? Man, maybe I'll be there in 7 picks. I don't know. More likely than not, I'll have to take Likely, though. We are getting to the point, before I forget, we can queue up Hey Darnold, because I don't want to forget about him. What pick will I have to take him out? He's 165. I'll have to take him at 164 just to be sure. Look at me. All right, well, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm probably taking 3 tight ends. I don't think stacking Dallas Goedert with Jalen Hurts is a bad move necessarily. It's not one that I'm going to outright seek an eliminator, but I'm not going to shy away from it when it walks up to me like that. It does, I mean, if I got Ferguson there, I would have been doing a low jig. All right, and the next pick has to be Darnold, and then we just target like low-end tight ends with TD-dependent value and decent offenses later. And who would those people be? It's not going to be... Wait. Somebody take Darnold? Yo! Tiff. I'm tiffing. Alright. Steelers play the Colts. Alright, Rodgers. Congratulations. Congratulations. My friend's in there. Yeah, if Rodgers is there, I'm just going to take him. Otherwise, I'm shit out of luck. Who do the Saints play? Could I show it up? Play the Rams. Indy, I would not want to play into the Steelers' defense. Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting that. I mean, where'd this guy take Darnold at? I didn't even see it happen. 147. 147. You son of a bitch, I'm in. I don't understand why people wouldn't take Likely. Almost everyone on this board already has a tight end. Likely's the perfect kind of like ceiling 2-piece you would want. But I cannot justify not taking a quarterback here. Because the only other quarterback I want, Joe Flacco, is the same buy as Mr. Jalen. But yeah, I don't really get it. So, if Likely is there at the next pick, I'll take him. I don't really understand why he's falling so hard. Like, if I'm this dude, well, I guess he has Bowers. He doesn't feel the need to. Yeah, if I'm the Tucker Kraft dude, like I'm jumping all over Likely. What the fuck? What the fuck is this team? this guy's just cooking too hard. Real spill. He is cooking way too hard. Like, sure, I would assume, because you took a bunch of quarterbacks, are going to advance out of our group of 12 week 1, and then when you play anyone else in any of the other drafts week 2, you're buns. You're done. Gesicki's a good TD dependent option. I don't hate that at all. 5-6. I feel fairly safe about my running back room. So unless somebody like falls pretty far, I'm not going to stress too much about that. The wide receiver room could definitely use some work. This team does see a fairly decent jump any week that Chase is out, having Higgins and Gesicki. I mean, I need one more tight end. Can't take on because of the bye weeks. I need 2 tight ends a week with the guys that I have. Otherwise, I mean, not necessarily. Tight end is such a generally like mid-range output. Like if your wide receivers and running backs blow up, your tight end output, especially in a 1v1, can mean next to jack shit depending on your total output. I can't believe Darren Waller's back. That's actually insane. Bro was singing next to fucking Gruden a couple months ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play football again because I'm out of money. Honestly, let's just take Freiermuth. I said it in the other draft. I expect he'll probably fall even farther, but like, if he keeps falling, I'm going to keep drafting. I also still like Dalton Schultz. Juwan Johnson ain't bad, but it would be Schultz or Freiermuth for me for the other 2 tight ends. Well, my third tight end out of those 2 options. Then my last pick is gonna be Flacco, and I'm gonna punt one of them till later. So, yeah, I need a wide receiver. Because we took Rodgers, honestly, fuck it, why not? You really don't want a team stack, but like I feel like the risk reward taking Calvin Austin as a stack this late like means next to nothing. Like I feel like Calvin Austin has a higher ceiling than DeAndre Hopkins at this point in Hopkins' career. Like my bad. Like Hopkins isn't doing jack shit this year. That's my viewpoint. And we just build out a low-key fucking Pittsburgh stack that can hopefully bring me out of a dumpster fire in a given week, should I face it. Like it's such a low-cost stack to build out in this, where you're giving yourself the better ceiling for end of season should you advance, and you don't have to invest much of your draft capital to do it. In my opinion, those are the stacks at least that like make a ton of sense in this kind of weird high floor draft environment. Either way, tight end next pick, and then we Flacco for a little bit of early season stability at quarterback. And I honestly feel pretty fucking good about this team. I mean, I love each and every one of those running backs. 5 is tough in this, but I like each and every one of them. The wide receivers are sketchy, admittedly. But Judy, you would hope, is going to play pretty damn well with some semblance of a quarterback. Higgins, I mean, their offense is just absolute insanity. It's going to have to be because their defense is absolute buns. Pittman, I expect some semblance of a jump or some semblance of a return to what he used to be with Daniel Jones instead of Anthony Richardson. Ayuk, I just need to show up week 9. Like when Judy is on bye, I need Ayuk to show up. If he doesn't, I'm pretty shit out of luck. Luther Burden, high upside. Calvin Austin, just for the stack. And I mean, like, that's a fine triad of tight ends. Should the rest of this hit and work out, they'll just need to, like, be there, occasionally get a touchdown, and, like, keep me alive. All right, let's Flacco this out. And this will be the last draft for today. I will be back tomorrow. Let's check the 8-hour draft that I accidentally joined. Hell yeah. I'm going to have to go on autopilot on that. I refuse to be a member of this draft. But yeah, last one today. I will be back tomorrow. Only doing one draft instead of two. Second one was to make up for my absence yesterday. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you gained some insight. Hopefully you draft well in all of your drafts. I am still very confused by that one dude that fucking took 4 quarterbacks. I don't think I'm going to understand that team at all. He's got Jamar, DK, JMO, Mims, Hollywood, Palmer. I mean, maybe he's a genius. Just maybe. Just maybe he's a genius. Flacco! Alright. And there's the team. Hurts, Rodgers, Flacco, Bijan, James Conner, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams, Ray Davis, Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman Jr., Brandon Ayuk, Luther Burden, Calvin Austin, Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki, Pat Freiermuth, and I am out. Have a great day, everyone.